Hi all, greetings from the apocalypse. The other day we were talking about some inexpensive options for setting it at home. I was talking about how the ring clamps are like Satan because they give you nerve damage. And I was saying how a lot of times for earrings or pendants or things like that, a block of wood with a couple holes poked in it works great to set stones. Now, I'm sure I've told you guys also many times, love my engraving ball. I adore it, but it's pricey. And especially if you're just like in your first few years of doing this, you don't necessarily want to blow like hundreds of dollars on that. So something that I used at home for many years is a regular old vise. This is like something you get at like, the Home Depot or a hardware store. Some of you may even have this like in their garage. A vise like this is like kind of a heavy steel one, but they also sell them on Amazon. Let's say between $20 and $50. As long as it has two jaws that close, you can use it to set rings really easily. The high-tech equipment that I put in here to cushion is usually a folded up paper towel, which is what I use on my engraving ball too. Yes, they make like special non-marring jaw liner things, and I don't know, somehow it's always one of those things that I can never fucking find. And in the studio in the city, it's the same exact way. Even though we have like rubber jaw liners, we just usually end up folding up a paper towel. So if you have something like this, all you need to do is put a little something in there to cushion your piece, like, your ring or whatever. Because like I said, earrings or a pendant, normally I'm just going to use a block of wood. But anything that has jaws that close, as long as you put a little something in there to cushion your piece so it doesn't get scratched up, you can put your ring in there. I just have a silver band here. I would close this up. Don't forget there's something in there to cushion it. Close it, and then I can set using both hands. This is the kind of thing, like one of these vices, a lot of people have them in their garage or workshop or whatever. So it's possible some of you have these already and they'll work just fine. When the day comes that you want to upgrade, that's great. But I set using this thing right here for many years and, it does the job. Is it as beautiful to use as an engraving ball? No, it's not. But it's really not wise in the beginning to go insane and buy every tool because you don't really know like how much you're going to do it. And, like let's say you're just doing this once in a while and you set a stone, like once every blue moon. You don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on an engraving ball to have a tool for that. When a vise like this, some of the more inexpensive ones like they sell on Amazon, I have at the studio in the city, but I don't have them at home, so I can't show you, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They just sit right on your table. They have jaws that come together, with a little arm on it that spins. These are very simple things. They have lots of different versions. Some of them rotate, which is nice. I will tell you though, don't worry about the suction aspect. The suction stuff never works. If it has it, fine, but don't actually expect it to stay put. But it doesn't matter really, because as long as it'll hold your ring, right? So like, let's say I've got this in here, I can kind of lean my hands on here. I can work for both sides, with my setting tool. I can get leverage, I can do everything I need to do right on here and it'll do the job just fine. So even though, of course, I am obsessed with tools, you don't always have to go buy the super expensive thing to be able to do a job. A little table vise, which usually, like I said, runs between maybe $20 and $50. And some of you might be lucky enough to have one of these lurking around somewhere in your attic or garage and you won't have to pay anything. So low-cost solutions are always a good thing when you're starting out. There'll be plenty of things for you to blow your money on. You don't necessarily need to do it all at once. So just to show you a little close-up of how I would set up my ring, I would take my high-tech paper towel, I'd fold it up a few times to create a little bit of a cushion. I'm going to open this up, put it in there. Like so. And then if I really want to be fussy, I can cut this side open a little bit so that it will lay more nicely on my little block here, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you can see the piece, that's the most important thing. And I'm going to put my ring in there and I'm going to clamp it. And just one thing that I will remind you of is to make sure that the bezel is pressed down right up against the block, because sometimes people will accidentally clamp it in there with it up a little bit. And if you do that and you're pressing hard when you're setting, you can actually like bend your ring or kind of like mess up your setting. So make sure when you're putting it in here, you have your finger on it so that you are really holding it down and it's completely supported in there. And then I squeeze this nice and tight. And then you see, I'm ready to set. I can start, put my stone in, do my thing. And as I need to move different angles, I can just spin it around on the table to get to it. So it works well and it doesn't cost too much. See, now I'm ready to set, and you can see that this is really pushed down in there firmly and it's resting nice and flat so that it can't get pushed one way or the other when I'm setting. I think that's it for today.